Hey, this is Not the Girl Next Door show, and today I have a special guest with us. I have Danny from The New Black, which I've had on the show before, but we needed some updates. They have some new music out. How are you, Danny? How have you been doing?
I'm doing great, Angela. Well, all things considered, I'm doing great.
Oh, definitely.
It's a crazy time out there right now, but thanks for having me on the show again.
Well, let's talk about the band first. Let's tell listeners who haven't heard The New Black. Let's tell everybody about how the band got together, what you guys are about, your inspirations, your sounds. Tell the listeners about you guys first.
Sure. So The New Black, we actually been around for a little bit of time. For about Gabe and I, the guitar player, we basically started playing music in high school, and we went on a little bit of hiatus for 5-6 years, and about 2 years ago we got back together, and we had a lot of songs that we had written, and we decided to really put the pedal to the metal, so to speak, and put a full-length album out that we worked with Jake and Phyllis, great producer, and we put Coming Home out, which was our debut album. So it's it's a modern rock feel, with some pop elements in there too, and some heavier rock. So we feel like we kind of bring the whole rock genre into one album.
So who really helped shape who you are as a vocalist, who you guys are a band? Who are some of your inspirations that kind of shape who you were growing up, or even now, everyone you were listening to?
That's such a loaded question, right, Angela? That's a tough one. We can have this conversation for like an hour, But the two of my big influences. One is Miles Kennedy of Alter Bridge, who he has an insane range, and listening to, all his work and really hearing the dynamic in his voice and the dynamic melodies that he comes up with, he was always a really big influence on me. Brent Smith of Shinedown is the other one. If you listen to everything from songs like 45, one of his earlier songs, to things that he's doing now, you can see the development as a vocalist. And it's what you inspire to be, it's what you inspire to create, is you always want to grow as a musician, as an artist, as a singer. So those two guys, they really shape, I think, my idea of what I would like to emulate, obviously with my own sound and my own, transformation as a singer.
And I can hear that. I mean, as a vocalist, you have a pretty broad range yourself as a vocalist, and especially melody. I mean, there's a lot of melody, but it's not just softer core songs you guys do. So how does the collaboration process work as a band? Are you the only writer? Do you collaboratively write with other people in the band? How do you guys get together? Do you get together and say you're going to write a song, or is it spontaneous, or is it all of the above?
It's kind of all the above. We all write. Everybody in the band writes. Gabe and I, basically, we had a lot of these songs written for the first album for a while, and we brought it to Cam, Eddie, and Dan, the other guys in the band, and they really developed their own sound too, and brought such a unique style to the album, which really helped. But to answer your question now, what we're doing in the crazy quarantine times, and it's been so difficult because we can't even rehearse right now.
Right.
What we've been doing is doing a lot of things remotely. I would, pick up the guitar, maybe play some piano parts, come up with some melodies, and Gabe would literally be videotaping himself with some riffs, sending them to me. Cam with some ideas, drum-wise. Dan and Eddie also writing, throwing lyrical ideas to the guys in the group text and coming back. So, we're working on our second album now, which has been awesome, and some of these songs I'm so excited for the world to hear. And it's a different process right now, but it's cool. It's different, and I love it.
So you yourself, do you play like a broad range of instruments? Because you said that you put pieces together. What instruments do you do everything? Or, I mean, not just for this band, I mean as a musician overall.
Yeah, believe it or not, I play piano, I play guitar, I play a little bass. I can play some other stringed instruments, but I am not at all a perfectionist with any of them. I have not perfected any of them. I dabble. What I call it is I'm the guy who will play 4 chords and I'll come up with a melody. So my forte is obviously singing. It's melody. it's producing and really creating that feel, that emotion, that sound. I love the piano. The piano is, to me, it's the gateway instrument. So I always like to sit down at the piano and basically dabble and come up with some cool melody ideas.
I think in rock music, it's kind of an underrated piece, and I know bands where they've added the piano, and there's such an element of like I can think of songs where it's haunting, or it just, I don't know, it taps at your heartstrings more, regardless of how it's used. If it's used in a melodic piece, if it's used in a heavier piece, I think I don't know, there's something about a piano in rock music that's different than any other form of country, any other broad range of music out there. I don't know. I think it can be used in a great way in rock music, and I think it's an overlooked thing in rock music. And when I do hear it, I think I pick it apart, easier. Or I don't know. It brings about a feeling. I don't know. What do you think the piano plays in rock music?
Oh, I 100% agree. I think that, think about like you watching a movie. If the movie didn't have that soundtrack to it, you wouldn't have that emotional feel, whether it be horror, whether it be comedy, whether it be dramatic. The piano and keys, and synthesized effects are really what make that emotion so much more powerful. So I 100% agree with you. I think the piano and keys are such a beautiful instrument that can complement every other instrument, including melody, which is why you hear and you see a lot of producers, really adding a lot of synth, a lot of piano parts, whether the band has a piano player or not. We don't have a piano player, but, in the studio, I played piano. We had a friend, Mike, play piano on Coming Home album too. So we added a lot of piano elements to the sound because it resonates with the listener. It makes it more emotional, it makes it more believable.
And even though most music, all music, I always explain to listeners, and I talk about it quite often, that music is an art form in a sense where somebody can look at a painting, and somebody can look at it in a certain way and see one thing, and it makes different emotions come out in different people, and I think music is like that too. So your music overall in the New Black, every single song that I've ever heard, it emits some kind of emotion, and it's like strong emotions, and I think not in a heavy tone where like a heavier tone of metal music does, but I think just through the videos that you guys have mixed with, I'm a big video person. I love music videos. I'm a product of the MTV era of, growing up watching MTV. So I love music videos to this day, and I think, music videos enhance it. But all of your music has such an emotional part to every single song that I've ever heard. And is it hard when you get on stage? Is it hard when you perform live to get up there and perform these emotionally charged songs? I mean, even if they're not about you or something that happened to you, is it hard to get up there and convey those emotions every time you get up and perform live?
Yes and no. I mean, it's always important to really fall into what the song is about to you on stage, in my opinion. You want to make it believable. You don't want to just go up there and make it a job,
Right.
And that's not what music's about. That's not what musicianship, I hope, isn't about for a lot of people. But, the songs that all these artists write, including us, it conveys a specific emotion. And like you said, you can look at, a piece of art and, it's subjective to a lot of people, and, certain songs that we have done and the videos we have done, obviously the underlying message we're bringing out, something that's very easy was actually the first video we recorded for Come Home. That song, a lot of people don't know, but that song is actually about my grandfather passing away. And he passed away a while ago, but it's all the emotions that came along with it over the years that really resonated with me. So not just, the sadness, but the confusion, the anger, just the heartbreak, the complete heartbreak that you feel, and the great thing about music videos is it really opens people's eyes and helps people connect. If they couldn't do it sonically, they can do it visually. So something that we always wanted to do was to make as many videos, make as many, they're like short films essentially. Is to understand, what's behind those words, what's behind that music, what's behind that melody. So it's something we always have wanted to do, and I think we've been, successful doing it, and we're going to keep doing it. And we did 6 videos already, and we have 1 album, which is pretty incredible in an 18-month, span. So we've been very busy, but it's something we really always wanted to do.
So when you see people singing your songs and that emotion comes through when you perform live, how does that feel? I mean, to be up on stage and you see people singing your songs, feeling the emotion, and all that hard work you guys have put into putting that music together, how does it feel to be in that position?
I always tell people, now it's like I'm going through withdrawal because of all these postponed shows, so it is my drug. It is 100% my drug, and going through the withdrawal and not being able to do it right now. And, not to change subject to a, obviously sad news going around the world, but, it's a small price to pay, for all musicians out there. It's very difficult, I'm sure, for all musicians, but, with everything going on, there's so many bigger things happening right now, that music is still very much a part of everybody's life, while we're in quarantine and, we're stuck at home with social distancing. Now's the time to really, if you feel that loneliness and, you feel, for the extroverts like me, you feel like you're bottled up and you want to get out there, just now's the time to go online, find new music, see new music videos, go watch movies, go connect yourself to something that you would never expect to connect yourself to, So, yeah, it's to answer your question, Angela, it's like that is my drug. So going through this withdrawal right now is pretty brutal.
I can imagine. I can only imagine. And on the flip side, as a fan, it is the same thing. It is, there's nothing like a live in-person show. I mean, Facebook shows are great. I love them. I mean, I guess that's the second best, and then that's good for now. But you're right. There's nothing like a live show, and I think a lot of people. I don't know, a lot of people who haven't experienced live shows, they're missing out on so much. It's not the same as watching somebody on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, whatever the case may be. And I talk about that a lot, on my show, to get there and see a live show, because there's nothing like it. I mean, you meet so many people, not just, the bands themselves, but just the whole ambiance of the room. Everything is amazing. So I can only imagine, Danny, what it's like.
But for more reason, exactly what you're saying, and the passion that you show for wanting to go to shows and be a part of that. It's more of a reason that all your listeners know and understand. Like, stay inside right now, social distance now, because we all want to go to those shows. We all want to experience those concerts, no matter what genre of concert it is. We all want to get out and go to sporting events, go to concerts, be able to go to parties with our friends, It's the little things like that we miss, and that's why it's so important now to, do our part to, to really flatten the curve.
I completely agree. And, I think it's helped for people. I think we live in such a fast-paced society, and everybody gets caught up in their jobs and, their extracurriculars and their families and everything that they do. I think people don't have time to step back and reflect and open their eyes and hearts and whatever the case may be. I think some people trip all over themselves, just living everyday life. So it is a good time for people to reflect, and hopefully one of the lessons learned, because, I mean, even myself, I'm a million miles a minute all the time, doing this, doing that, as I'm sure everybody is. And even taking a step back from the things that I usually do, and, not running around, not going crazy, it's even made me reflect, so I can imagine how it is for everyone, just to absorb it all in.
Definitely.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm Angela.
Hi, I'm Timothy. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Well, let's came in perfect timing. Let's talk about your new video. Let's talk about the new song. Let's tell the listeners about Figure It Out. And the first thing that came to my mind when I even watched the clips of the video before it was released on the new Black page was, holy hell, this is a sexy video. And it's a sexy video with a message now. So let's talk about this video, this sexy video.
Yeah, sure, for sure. Well, first, Tim, what's up, man? How's everything, bro?
Hey, what's good, man? How you doing?
So the reason, we're doing, obviously, this is probably a little different, Angela, that I don't know if you've had many videographers and directors come on, but, one of the reasons why I wanted, obviously, and you wanted Tim to come on was Tim has been with us from the very beginning. He's done all 6 music videos that we've done, and Figure Out is a special one for us because, we've been doing this. We've had this idea for a while. This is going 5-6 months back, talking about Figure Out and planning it and casting. So, the sexy part that you're talking about is exactly what we were going for, and it's really Figured Out it's a love song and it's a hate song. It's basically about a toxic relationship, and seeing the different aspects of the intimacy, of the passion, and then on the flip side, seeing the animosity, the vindictive behavior, and things like that. And, when you watch the video, you can see everything happening, and then at the end, obviously, you kind of can see the breakup and you can see the separation, and, we're going into a part 2 as well. So, Figured Out, it's a roller coaster. It was definitely a great shoot and a fun shoot, but I'm sure Tim can tell you about that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we had a great time shooting this. I think my main goal was to try to portray the love and hate between the two. It definitely was a fun shoot. We had a great time. It was a 2-day shoot. Yeah, we just had a great time, and showing that, and with the editing process and the shooting the way we did it, it was very important to show that love and hate, and to make it sexy, but yet, make it seem like and know that there's definitely problems in the relationship, which is we all go through that, right? We had that one person where we just we love them to death, but we just can't stand to be around them. So we really wanted to portray that through the visuals and stuff like that.
As the relationship process that everybody goes through, whether you've been together, a year, 20 years, no matter what it may be, it was completely conveyed. And of course, you have a sexy lady to draw you in. So, how was it making the video, Danny? Was it fun? Was it tedious? Do you like the process? Because I've talked to some bands that are like, oh, it drags on, I'm tired of the song now. Or do you like the process of actually making music videos?
No, I absolutely love it. And, I started getting more into the writing process of the storyboarding and treatments and directing because of Tim. Tim kind of opened my eyes to the whole process. And, I've even told him, I'm like, oh, man, I really want to sit down with you and learn editing. Because it's a beast what Tim does, but the actual process of shooting the music video, this one, it's, so a little background on what we did is Tim and I were searching for the right girl to work with for Figure It Out for a while, and we wanted to make sure that obviously they understood and they were comfortable, with the aspects going on in the video. And Julie was phenomenal. She was. Absolutely. She was great, and she wanted to do everything she could to make it as believable as possible. So we had rehearsals too, which we felt was very important to do. Have rehearsals, go over everything, really, excuse me, really talk, about the ins and outs and the depths of what we were getting into. So, I love the process. I love the different scene cuts that, we do, and I literally love setting up lighting with Tim, going over, different lighting with Tim, and Tim explaining the aspects of why we need light here and, why we can't do certain shots in this room and we have to do a different room.
Exactly.
The comfort aspect, obviously, when you don't know someone that well, like Julie, and Julie and I are actually good friends now, and Julie's good friends with Tim now, it's not easy, but, you have to laugh, you have to joke, you have to be yourself, and, go through the process, and, it was a lot of fun. It definitely was a lot of fun, and, we feel that it's definitely believable. If you watch the video, it looks like Julie and I were together for years and years. That's exactly what we were going for.
But I'm sure everybody's asking that question too, and there's a little mystery to that. That the people that don't hear the interview, is this Danny's real, wife, girlfriend, whatever it may be. So yeah, I mean, it definitely is a believable story, and it painted the picture. Now, did you guys create, Tim and Danny? Did you guys create the basic story for it together, or Tim, did you approach Danny with it, or how did that work when you guys were deciding how this was going to play out as far as the story went?
Yeah, usually what happens, me and Danny being together for a while now, shooting videos, him and his band are very creative in the way they come up, they create the music. So usually what happens is Danny says, hey, time for another video. I had this idea. And then we go from there. I'll put my input. We decide on locations and stuff like that, and who we want to cast for it. But usually it's a joint idea as far as the creativity of it. But usually the first idea, the initial idea, is Danny's. He's very creative. He's a mastermind as far as storytelling and what he wants to convey, visually, through for the music. So it's a fun process. It's easy too. It's like it doesn't feel like we're working. It feels like we're just having fun. And I just happen to have a camera in my hand. So I mean, we laugh, we joke, we have fun. It's a great process.
And that's what it's about. I mean, in the end, it's about having fun, and it not feeling like it's a job. And even though a lot of hard work and a lot of hours go into it. So, Danny, you guys have 6 music videos out, you said, in the past 18 months. So without giving anything away, and we all know in this world of everything right now that everything is tentative, do you guys have plans for 2020 to come out with more videos, more music, or what are your projected plans aside from, anything?
Yeah,
let's just say things stay the way they are, and we get to get out and get going. What are the plans for the band for the rest of the year?
Sure. So, we just obviously released Figure It Out today, and Angela, you've been great with us, so we wanted to get on here first and for you to be basically the first person talking about the video and everything. We released it at noon today, so it's only been out a few hours, and we're already getting a lot of great feedback. Figure It Out, and there's another song on the album, but I'm not going to give it away on Coming Home, that were a 2-part. The songs were actually written together, and there's a 2-part video for it. So the next video is coming out the first week in May, so no one has to wait too long, which is awesome. Actually, Tim he's a speed demon when it comes to editing. We shot both of these videos together. We did these videos together, which is insane. So they were, 14, 15, 16-hour days that we were shooting, but we did both the videos together. So it's Figure It Out, and then this next video, this next song, which is already complete. Right now Tim and I are basically going over the final cut to see if there's any, additional edits we need to make, but it's complete, and it's going to be coming out the first week in May. And then, believe it or not, we're working on our new album, and we feel that we have our first single done already. That's how confident we are in the song.
Wow.
And I already told Tim to be prepared for the end of the summer to record another video for the first single of the first album that we're going to be releasing the album in winter of 2020 or 2021. So we're thinking like December, January.
And where can everyone, this is where we want to plug the band, where can everyone find your stuff? Do you have a website? Are you all over social media? Where can people find your music, find your merchandise, find everything about The New Black?
You got it, yeah. Definitely go right online, thenewblackofficial.com. You can go right to our website. We're all over Facebook. Just search The New Black. We're on Instagram, The New Black Music. We're all over social media. You can find us on iTunes, Amazon Music, Spotify, any streaming platform, any download platform. We're all over. It's very easy, very simple. We're going to be doing some specials soon where we're going to be giving away some T-shirts, some CDs, some posters, some signed posters. And, a lot of good things coming, Angela. A lot of good things coming.
You have a busy year coming up. I mean, to be continued with one music video to the next video, and then we're jumping right into new album towards the end of the year, at least. So lots of things going on for the band. So when that does, you definitely come back. Come talk to me. I thank you guys for coming on the show today. I appreciate it. We will get through this, and hopefully soon I'll be sharing your live shows that should be coming up soon once we get through all this. But for now, we're going to stay home. We're going to listen. We're going to watch you guys all over social media, listen to the music, and you guys will come back soon.
Thank you.
We
Thanks
really
for having
appreciate
us.
it, Angela. Yeah, thank you very much, and make sure you and your family stay healthy, stay safe. Everybody out there, let's quarantine ourselves for some time. And if you're looking for a phenomenal videographer, editor, director, Timothy Gordon of Gordon 5 Films is your man. Tim, thanks for coming and hanging out with us tonight too. And
no problem,
Angela, we really appreciate you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you guys. You guys have a good